Morning, everybody. Good morning to all our EduInc families and students, and welcome to the 2018 Valediction Ceremony. This is always a very significant event on our calendar because it is our opportunity to be a part of the legacy that these young men and women are about to leave as they leave the safe haven of our school. So when I welcome you, the parents, grandparents, friends, teachers, chairman of the EduInc board, and when I thank you for the time that you've taken from your own lives to be here today, I'm thanking you for recognizing the significance of what today represents in the lives of these 9 young adults. I'm very grateful that you are here adding your voice to mine, to Mr. Aitchison's, and to the voices of all the EduInc family members in wishing these young people the strength, the determination, the fortitude, and the sense of humor that they will need to be successful at what comes next. I've had a bit of a sneak preview of some of the speeches, of all of the speeches over the last week that the Matrics have written for today. And I've been privy to some of the post-prelim conversations that you've been having with Mr. Aitchison. And in having these chats with you, listening to your speeches, and listening generally to how you are feeling about things right now, it made me think of a brief conversation that Winnie the Pooh has with the narrator of the story in the final chapter of the book, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And Pooh's walking along with Christopher Robin, and as they come to the enchanted part of the forest, the narrator says that it's time to say goodbye. And Pooh says, "Goodbye? No, please. Can't we just go back to page 1 and start again?" And I've heard a similar sentiment from all of you, or most of you, in different words over the last 2 weeks. You've spent the last 12 years straining and pushing and being very impatient to get to the finishing line that you are at today. But now that you are here, mixed with your excitement about the next step, there seems to be a thread of wishing that you could slow things down just a little bit right now and stay a small while longer in this comparatively simpler space. But like the narrator says to Winnie the Pooh, sorry, but all stories have an ending. And so they should, because if we didn't have any endings, we couldn't have any beginnings. And those are exciting. Yes, they are scary, they're daunting, they're intimidating, and they're very unsettling. But they are definitely exciting. And when I was thinking about what to write on the tags, on the flowers that we give to you today, I resorted to trawling the trusty old Auntie Google for some inspiration. And one of the memes that I saw there really explained to me, it was very clear to me why we need to have endings. And it was just a picture of a little circle, and in the little circle it said comfort zone, and then next to that little circle was a big circle, and at the big circle in there it had written where the magic happens. But the significant part of the meme for me wasn't necessarily the circles, it was the gap between the circles. Because we can't get from the little comfort zone circle to the big magic circle without taking a leap. We have to take a leap. If we're going to take a leap to where the magic happens, there has to be an ending first. And that is what we are actually here to celebrate today. So when you are saying your goodbyes today, think again about Winnie the Pooh, who when he finally did say goodbye to his best friend, Christopher Robin, said, "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mrs. Aitchison, for saying all the welcomes, and thanks for those wise words from Winnie the Pooh. So I'm going to address the Matrics today, and I'm going to talk to them about the journey that they have followed Some of them have been here for 5 years. Some of them have been here for 2 years. But it's been an interesting journey, and I'd like to talk a little bit about success today. Because success has many faces. It looks like different things to many different people. For some people, success is measured by the car they drive or the house they live in. For some people, success is measured by the position they have, the money they earn, and the power that they can wield. Some people measure success by the lives they save. And then again, some people measure success by being able to buy a loaf of bread to feed their families for one day. What I find most strange about success is that often successful people don't recognize their success. And it takes other people to look and see and be able to recognize that success. And I personally believe that happiness is found in being able to recognize success. I believe that we find joy and hope in the same place. And we need to celebrate the wins. And that's what we're doing today. Every single one of you sitting there is a success story. Each of you have had different crosses to bear. Each of you have had to make very difficult decisions and make sacrifices to be here and to get to where you want to be. Each of you could have stepped out at any point, as so many do, and never finish school. But here we are saying farewell to you today. So how do I measure success personally? And many people ask me that. Many new parents coming into the school say, how do you know that you've been successful? And how do you know that your students are ready for the next chapter? Well, for me, the most obvious is that you have opened the biggest possible door and the most opportunities through your academic efforts. But that's just a very small part of it for me. It's in the brief glimpses that I get of the adult, the men and women that you're going to be. And it might be something in a conversation we have. It might be a look in your eyes. It might be in an interaction that you have with one of your peers or one of your teachers. But it's in those moments I recognize your success. And for me, the final measure is determined by a very simple question. Would I like to have coffee with the adult Usama, and the adult Brennan, and the adult Jordan, and the adult Taylor, and the adult Sarah, and the adult Jono, and the adult James, and the adult Cheyenne, and the adult Josh? Would I like to sit down with you and have a cup of coffee and hear about your stories and your adventures? And I think that you've succeeded. And I would like to have those conversations if you're authentic and honorable, if you are trustworthy and reliable, if you are genuine people. In 3 words, if you're independent, if you have influence, and you have integrity. So the answer is yes. I would love to meet the adult you. And I'd love to have a cup of coffee and hear some of your war stories. And that's because I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the decisions you've made, and in the pursuit of you becoming the best versions of yourselves. So I end my message with a thought, perhaps a challenge, put down by a much wiser person than me. So in 2002, when celebrating Walter Sisulu's 90th birthday, Nelson Mandela said, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It's the difference we make to the lives of others, and that will determine the significance of the life we lead. And I'm going to repeat that to you, because for me, it's a challenge to you. It is the difference we make in the lives of others that will determine the significance of the lives we have. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to invite the Matric students themselves to come up to the podium to address you briefly. Then they will be placing their plaque on the sundial, and they will officially take their leave from us at Education Incorporated. Usama, please come to the podium.
Okay. Good morning, HSNs, teachers, guests, peers, and a great morning to the greatest matric class in the shul. I've never been good at speeching, but I'd just like to touch on a few things with everyone here. I would just like to start off with saying thanks. Thanks to my parents. I will never be able to express how thankful I am or ever repay you for everything you've done for me. Don't cry. Thanks to my teachers, like Doctor, for not only educating me, but also shouting at me when I'm messing around. Or Mr. E, who would occasionally whack me over the head when I'm not paying attention. Just kidding, Mr. E doesn't hit me. Or Mr. Moodlia, for putting up with my antics. And even a thank you to Mr. Arkett, who doesn't even teach me, but always ready to kick me out the door because I'm not supposed to be there. And a very big thank you to the HSNs. Even though they seem scary, they look after every single one of us as if we were their own children. And I, for one, can say not every single sit-down in the office is one where you get shouted at, even though you recap all the troublesome things you've caused over the days. They are two of the most caring heads I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Thank you for everything. It took me a while to figure out what to speak about, but all I had to do was look up and just realize the inspiration I needed surrounded me. My friends. The support they've given me and the will to wake up each day and come to school just to make new memories with them. Jono. The times we spent in the lab when Doc would shout at us for not working, even though we would be working on occasion. My curry boy Brennan. I would never forget how you came all the way to Boksburg just to support me in my paintball event, or our competitive nature in maths, trying to best each other. Jordan and James, working with you in physics was very entertaining. Even though most of the time you two would be arguing, or don't even know what to do, or don't even know how to do the activities, myself included. Or Josh, driving with you and the boys to school excursions, try not to go deaf because your music is always so loud. And Cheyenne, the one person who couldn't stand me at all when I first arrived, became one of the people who cared for me the most, as well as the person I sat next to in every class, making fun of others. Mama loves you. Well, what I'm trying to say is, bonds with friends are like the holidays. You wish they would just hurry up and get here. But when they come to an end, you wish you had just a little more time. So cherish these moments and make as many as possible before you have to part ways. Even though my time with you feels as if it flew by, the memories we shared will stay with me forever. Thank you for being my friends, and I will love you always and forever. Thank you.
I can see it. And put that on and come back.
Yes, sir.
As you should.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Osama. Okay. Taylor, would you come up, please?
Good morning, everyone. My name's Taylor, and I'm thankful to be part of the class of 2018. When I was younger, I'd put my arms in my shirts and told people I lost my arms. I would restart a video game when I knew I was going to lose. I slept with all my stuffed animals as a child, so none of them would be offended. I had that one pen with four... I had that one pen... I had that one pen with 4 colors and always tried to push all four buttons down at once. I used to pour cream soda into the bottle cap and pretended I was taking shots. The hardest decision for me was choosing which horse to ride. I used to wait behind a door to scare someone, but eventually left because they either took too long or I needed to pee. I used to fake being asleep so I could get carried to bed, and I used to think the moon was following me. Being able to watch 2 raindrops roll down the window and pretending they were racing. The only thing I had to care about was a hamster, and the only fake friends I had were imaginary. I was always scared to death that a tree would grow inside my stomach if I swallowed a seed, and having bruised knees was better than having a broken heart. Remember when we were kids and couldn't wait to grow up? What the heck were we thinking? When I was in grade 7, I always told my mom I couldn't wait to grow up and live my life the way I wanted to live it. However, 5 years down the line, in the year 2018, I decided I didn't want to grow up anymore. I'm tired of being an adult. I turned 18 last week Friday and was given even more responsibility, which seriously sucks. I'm an adult now, but I still love watching Disney movies, like Mulan, and watching kids shows that I grew up with, such as Kim Possible. As most of you know, I'm a black belt in karate, which comes with a lot of pros and cons. The pros being that I get to boss the little kids around, and being able to travel overseas to represent my country in the World Cup. However, there are also many cons, such as being responsible for 2- and 3-year-old white belts that misbehave and you get sick and tired of it and eventually want to pull your hair out. What I'm trying to say is that, even though I am a black belt, I was once a white belt. It just took me 13 years to get to where I am. Yes, it was difficult and there were many bumps in the road. But it was worth it, because I wouldn't be the person I am today without the hardships that I faced. Look forward to the journey, not the destination, because one day you'll wake up and you realize that you can't get that time back. Don't wish your life away and enjoy living in the moment. Everyone is special in their own way, and we all face different obstacles in our lives. It's okay to be a glow stick. Sometimes we need to break before we shine. But enjoy the time it takes before you are finally able to shine, because before you know it, you make memories that can't be relived. I've enjoyed being in each class this year due to stomach-aching laughs and memories that we produced. I will miss our life science lessons and the weird questions that were asked that are now dented into my head. I will miss the stupid things we got up to in maths, like Brennan lighting his thumb on fire at the beginning of the year. And the funny conversations we had in English, as well as scaring Miss Pierce with the eyeball we dissected in life science, and the comebacks that were thrown around in Afrikaans. I am so privileged to be able to have been surrounded by the most amazing class and teachers for the last 2 years. I have made many amazing memories with amazing people in the class of 2018, and I have enjoyed every second, good and bad, that I have spent with them. I would never trade those memories for anything, as they are the most valuable memories to me. I'm going to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite Disney characters. Disney characters Winnie the Pooh. Life is a journey to be experienced, not a problem to be solved. Thank you.
Taylor, thank you very much. Winnie the Pooh seems to be very popular today. Clearly a wise man or stuffed toy. Jordan, will you come and join us, please?
Good morning, everyone. There was a time in my life where I truly believed I had no purpose and that I had nothing to offer to anyone. And while in this period of loneliness, I was always told that there would be hundreds of other people who all felt exactly the same way I did. But that's not what I wanted to hear or know. I didn't want to know that I was not alone in my feeling. I wanted someone to reach inside my brain and fix the wrong that made me not lovable and unnormal. When I first came to this school, I hoped that with the unique opportunities this place offered me, I would finally find that person to fix me. And I can happily say that after 3 years at the school, I'm still alone. But I wouldn't want to change that, because I can say that I have now found content within myself. This school has taught me to find the comfort within the discomfort, to find the strength within myself to be happy with my lonesome and my quietness. The key word from Edu Inc.'s motto is independence. And this is what has shaped me into the young woman you see before you. And while this independence has helped me no longer want someone else to fix me, but rather allowed me to develop my own person, I realize now that I was never alone. It was just teenage angst. To my teachers, although there were many times when you thought I was rude or disrespectful, I thank you all with your endless amounts of support, patience, and nurturing you all showered upon me. I would like to thank my parents for offering this amazing opportunity in education for me and for being with me through thick and thin. You did it, Mom. You got me to Matric. And finally, to my fellow Matric students, thank you for allowing me to be called your friend. And thank you for dealing with my mom's strange gardening habits. You are all public enemies number one. And to the rest of the school, thank you for being here. And if you take anything away from here today, you have to remember that we're all here for a purpose. The universe just takes its time. Saying my speech aloud now to you all, I realize that the words sound hollow and devoid of passion or meaning. But truly, how can I express my bottomless wells of gratitude to all the amazing people who have helped me, encouraged me, made me cry, made me angry beyond reason, the people who on rare occasions made me happy to see the sun in the morning. If you were to ask a younger me, say 16 or 17 years old, if I'd ever see myself at a Matric Valediction, I would have laughed in your face. But standing now before you here, I can say with courage and confidence that we made it, boys. All right, now. Where do I put it?
You'll find a spot there. It's a pistol. Good luck. Thank you very much, Jordan. Mr. Naidu, it is your turn. We've waited all morning for this.
Yeesh. I guess firstly I would like to thank the people that have helped me.
I would like to thank Wikipedia, Google, Cheyenne, and Taylor, and all of their study notes for getting me this far. No, but on a serious note, guys, I kind of feel a bit old right here. By the end of 2014, I joined Edu Inc. That was probably a real eye-opener and a life-changer for me. When I joined Edu Inc., I felt like I stepped out of a whole world of just gloom and despair, and I kind of rejoined my family in a way. The Aitchisons have always been like parents to me, and my class, like my siblings. I could never describe my class in just a few words. Trust me, I tried. But if I had to try, Usama, my maths bro, I could never be bored in maths as long as you were there, man. And I knew my days were never boring. Taylor, like my little sister, hey, I couldn't stop with the nicknames for you. My little grasshopper, my little piglet. Oh, where to start, where to end? Jordan, when I saw you, I thought you were going to kill me, honestly. Then I saw your art. Your art showed me that behind this exterior there's someone with probably the most creative mind I've ever seen in the world. Someone who's truly going to go on to shape our world. My man Jono. Oh my gosh, where to start? If anything, Jono has made me a stronger man. He's taught me how to be tough. Can't ever let them emotions get too far in there. It's the reason why the tears haven't come out yet. Sarah, I really wish I had more time to try your cooking, honestly. I mean, you're going to an international cooking school, and I still have not. All I got to try was a piece of pizza. Thank you, Mr. Arcade, for making that possible. James, James, my dizzy boy. Bro, I don't even know where to start. You're probably the kindest soul I've ever met. And you've probably been more into space than any other astronaut I know. Josh. Oh my gosh, Josh. Right there is my big brother right there. I mean, I don't know where to start. The day I walked in, you were the first oak to give me a handshake, to say, introduce yourself, followed by Brett's, obviously. But man, you never let me go. You know, you helped me out. You never left me to suffer alone. You know, and it meant a lot. And of course, for last, the queen herself, the legendary Queen Bee, Cheyenne, of course. I mean, where would my days have been without you, girl? You might like my gossip queen. Oh, guys. Yeah, guys. Bear with me here. Oh, thank you so much. You've been like a best friend to me. You looked out for me. You've made me feel a bit small, but at the same time very big. I'll never forget my days with any of you guys. But there's also my days with my teachers. And sorry if this is taking a bit long, but yeah. I think where I have to start is definitely Dr. and Mr. E. I think your shaving blade collection must be half empty. I mean, look at me now, really. I was in a rush, guys. Miss Rundle, always giving me an opportunity to go upstairs, always letting me use the computers. And always had a conversation for me. When my days were boring, you really were there for me, ma'am. Mr. Mulia, our hashtag awkward moments, sir. It transcends time, you know what I mean? Mr. Arcade, I'm really sorry for all the trouble I've given you this year, sir. It's been a tough one, but hey, we're getting through it, right? I think. Yeah. But then I have to go back to the Aitchisons. Truly. Oh wait. Let me just open this up again. the Aitchisons have really been like second parents to me. Obviously, I got my mom over there. Yo, head down, I know. Thank you for not showing me the tears. I can't stand it right now. But the Aitchisons, when I was at school, I felt like I was alone. I know I came into your office and not always was it the best of conversations, but you know, it still felt like home with you guys. I've known you guys since the 4th grade, and you still look the same, and I don't know how. But truly, I don't know how I can honestly say thank you enough. Guys, there have been so many experiences here, and truly, they're one of a kind. Some more so, which brings me to one memorable moment. The one moment I knew I would have to share with the school. The arrival of the infamous, the legendary, the irreplaceable Mr. Engelbrecht. When he first came to this school, yes, please, let us clap for the legend himself. Yes, indeed. When Sir first came to the school, oh gosh. When you first came, sir, I remember all the laughs me and Joseph would have in your class. And you got sick of it, and the one day you finally decided on this one response. Take a look at this face. You see this face? You better sort yourself out, because you're going to be seeing it for 3 years. Sir, you have no idea. I've never forgotten that. For the whole 4 years, actually, sir. It's been 4 years. But hey, we got through it. As for the students of Edu Inc., the ones that aren't matriculating, you guys got a while to go, and it may seem like a tough journey, but you know, you're going to see that it's actually worth it in the end. Because all that happens now is going to shape what happens in the future. Whew. Guys, I really have so much more stories, but yeah, I can't take up all the time. I would like to end off with a quote from Winston Churchill. If you're going through hell, just keep on going. If you feel the struggles are piling up, push through. Don't let them overpower you, because at the end of the day, you are the one with the strength. At the end of the day, it's just someone else's expectations that you just need to work past. Make it through that, and you're setting gold. Thank you. Oh, jeez. Oh, they even spelled my name right.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm hearing you. Pretty nonsense.
Enough of that. Female. Sarah, would you like to come up? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I can't believe we have nearly reached the end of the year. It has been tough, but in the end, it's all going to be worth it. I could have not reached this point without the support and guidance of all the teachers. I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Aitchison for their ongoing encouragement and for making the school what it is today. I would like to wish my fellow classmates all the best for the exams and everything of the best for the future. I hope whatever you decide to do next year turns out to be a great success. Once again, thank you to all the teachers.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Jonathan says he has a surprise in his speech, which is always a very scary thing. Jono, it's your turn now. I'd like to see the surprise.
Wow, this is really a great turnout. All of this for me. Yeah, you guys really shouldn't have. But since you're all here, I'd just like to say that high school is not for sissies. This period in our lives prepares us for the big and scary, unfair, real world that we hear so much about from our teachers and parents. And after my 4 years spent here at Edu Inc. with Jax and Gersh, I've been waiting so long to say that, by the way. You guys have really shown me what it's like to grow. I'd like to thank my class. You're the craziest and most wonderful bunch of people I have ever met, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I will never, ever forget you. Josh, you obviously knew you had to go first. We've shared so many memories and ideas, many bad, but some were actually pretty good. We've done some stupid things, but we've also done some great things. And we're here together. We're at the end, bro. We made it. Uz. Mini-me. Sorry, I lost it. I'm going to miss you. You've really opened a big place in my heart, and you've helped me in more ways than you know. James, my dizzy. What can I say about you? You're a legend, my boy. There's nothing that you've done that has ever, it's just always surprised me. Shay, my wife. We fight, we laugh, but most of all, we've made it. And now, the wedding's next, you know. Jordan, my meme queen. Boy, have we laughed, and we fought. But it's at the end now, I look back at everything, and I really feel that if we hadn't connected, I wouldn't be as funny as I am today. Brendan, when I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was sad, you gave me a shoulder. I will always be there for you, Brendan. You have got a massive place in my heart, and most of my respect. Taylor, oh, thank you for not kicking me in the face. Thank you. Sarah, I wish you all the luck in the world. And I really hope that you continue to cook as well as you've cooked the books this year. Doctor, Mr. E, thank you. Doc, you're like my second mom. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for shouting at me, even when I was doing work sometimes. Mr. E, we've had our fair run-ins, sir, but you have helped me in many ways. You've helped me pass Afrikaans, which I never thought I would, and you've given me hope, sir. Thank you. I'll be ending my speech with a quote from Zani van der Merwe, and it goes, "Stay cool and stay in school."
I don't know what the surprise was. James, it is your turn.
Good morning, Education Incorporated. Principals, parents, teachers, students, and fellow graduates. I never expected Matric to come to an end so quickly after how long these 12 years of school have been. And I would have been pretty sure that I would have been much happier about it than I am right now. It's possibly because we haven't finished finals yet, but I know there's much more to it than that. No longer will people be able to move our deadlines or pardon our misbehavior and understand that we did the work even though it isn't here. To you, the teachers, I owe a big thank you. Many of you have stood with us and done everything to help us achieve what we are capable of. And to the other teachers, the ones that arrived here later in my 2 years of being here, thank you for making such a colossal effort to help us drastically improve our marks. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Aitchison for giving me the opportunity to come to EduInc. Although there was no reason for you not to want me here, it was very late for me to be moving schools, and I'm very thankful because I'm much better off being here. I would like to thank my parents for paying for my school fees, bringing me here, and driving out much further than the closest school to drop me off and fetch me. Thanks Thomas, Mrs. Rundle, Mrs. T, Mr. Kennedy, Max, and Lillian for keeping the school looking and functioning so well behind the scenes. Lastly, I'd like to thank Margaret, the Matrics of Education Incorporated, 2018. Thank you all so much for your help throughout this year. I know that I'm the newest and the dizziest, so I appreciate how all of you have been able to help me out, and really like the way we have become so close-knit and supportive of each other. I'd like to end the speech with a quote from a wise friend. He said that babies eat sand to stay cool. I'd like to thank you all for being my sand throughout the year.
I'd like to ask everybody's big brother, Josh, to come to the podium.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Aitchison, teachers, parents, and students of Education Incorporated. My parents have always told me not to wish my life away, as life is too short as it is. But school has not been short. Although it has felt long, looking back on all the memories makes me realize that time really does fly. So Mom and Dad, you were right. I'll never forget my first day here at EduInc. I got shot by the fence, face planted in the dog park, and damaged school property. And I thought I wouldn't last long in the school at all, but I was wrong, and I'm glad I was. I'd like to thank all the teachers who have put in the effort to get me through school, and have definitely left me with some good memories and some good stories to speak about. Mr. E, your constant threats of giving me a PK during class, and the tunes I get from being born behind the Boerewors curtain, that being Boksburg, has definitely got me through Afrikaans. Mr. Arkett, I'd like to thank you for all the stary stumpies you have bribed me with in order to do my math work. And Doc, I'm terribly sorry for the embarrassing, irrelevant, and uttermost funny comments I've said during life science throughout the years. I definitely know I've planted my seed in the science lab. And last but not least, I'd like to congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Aitchison for finally getting rid of me and us monster children, the grade 12s. We have definitely had a few and good bad times, but Ireland was definitely a good time to bond and have some good fun with each other. The memories made at school will probably remain with me forever. And I'm very lucky to say that these memories have been made with the friends in the school and my classmates. And I'd like to thank you so much for making it as memorable as it is. Sama, I've never seen someone run into a wall as fast as you, not shed a tear, and still ask if you won the race. Jordan, your crazy creativity, interest in birds and memes have definitely made me laugh more than 1,000 times. Brennan, finding you on my balcony after my 18th birthday really sparked our friendship, as you didn't know what to say to me. And James, you have never failed to put a smile on my face with your bad jokes and dizziness. The things we have experienced together will never fade away, and you'll always be a brother to me. To my fat boy Maguire and Brett van Rooyen, you two are like family to me. Thank you for building an extra room in your house for me, in order for me to stay there when I'm having my very bad days, just so we can have a good talk with each other. And last but not least, Cheyenne, or should I say my beans. Thank you for always being by my side through bad days, arguing with me for no bloody reason, and making me smile so much. And I just want you to know that you are very special to me. And next year is definitely going to be very hard, not seeing you every day and dealing with your sassiness. And now I'd like to end off my speech with a quote. Difficult roads often lead to the most beautiful destinations, so make them count.
Would Jonathan Selesnik and Joshua Tempest please meet me in my office after this assembly? We have something to discuss. Cheyenne, this year's ambassador for EduInc, please come up and finish off the events today.
Matrix, we made it. It went by fast, just like our parents said it would. Just the other day, I was a new girl at EduInc. Little did I know, I grew up to be the ambassador of the school and achieve the marks that I worked so very hard for. A big thanks goes to my incredible teachers who put in much time and effort. Mr. Arkett, I really don't hate you. Each and every one of you have pushed me beyond breaking point, which I needed because if you ask my class, I'm one stubborn blonde who is overly dramatic and sometimes just needs a kick up the... A big thanks goes to my parents who have wiped away many tears and continue to support me each and every day. To my brother for testing me in the car on my Antony and Cleopatra notes, even though you get car sick. Now to my class. If I haven't already been crying, be ready for some sort of waterfall. Thank you for being my rock. Thank you for making me laugh uncontrollably. And thank you for being my shoulder to cry on. I decided that I'd like to say a few words about each of you. To Jordan Keane. You have got to be one of the most unique people I've ever met. You're slightly odd, but in a good way. Thank you for being my sarcastic friend and for showing the love for horses. You go show the world what you're made out of. To Brennan Naidu, thank you for being my gossip buddy and always having my back. You're indestructible, and you've never given up when life throws you the biggest curveballs. You've made me so proud. To Taylor Francis, you have such a big heart even though you put on a brave face. You keep inspiring and pushing yourself to the max. I know you have big dreams for yourself. To Osama Ali, you've taught me not to judge a book by its cover. You have the biggest heart, and you're the biggest people pleaser. I know you're going to kill me for saying that. Thank you for being one of my closest friends and for always making sure that I'm 100% okay. It actually scares me how well you know me. To Sarah Phillips, you're such a sweet, kind, caring person, but you're the biggest dark horse, and you showed each and every one of us that we should never underestimate you. You keep proving people wrong. To James Taylor, my Jamesy, your laugh is so contagious, and so is your smile. You're such a caring person, and you see the best in everyone. You're gonna make one hell of a businessman one day. Keep on keeping on. To John O'Selesnik, you're such a chop. Thank you for making me laugh. No one quite knows how you make the jokes out of the most absurd things, but you do. You are absolutely hilarious, and one day when you're married, your wife won't be able to stay mad at you for too long. You high-key only want the best for the people you love, and you neglect yourself. Don't do that. You deserve the best. Thank you for being my shoulder to cry on. To Josh Tempest, last but not least, you're such a ray of sunshine, and you have the most special heart. You're capable of being absolutely unstoppable. Just believe in yourself. You always have people's best interests at heart, and you always put others before you. It's so rare to find someone so selfless. I'm so proud of you. So I hope with all my heart that each of you cherish these moments that we have spent together, because no matter how much you may want to go back to this, you can't. There's a universal truth that we all have to face, even if we don't want to. Everything ends eventually. As much as I've looked forward to this day, I've always hated endings. Unfortunately, endings are inevitable, and today is one of those days for all of us. I know it feels as if we're saying goodbye, but we will carry a piece of each other into everything that we do, to remind us of who we are and who we are meant to be. I've had a great 3 years with you all, and I'm going to miss you all so much. I can't believe I got so soppy. Anyway, what I want to end off with is the most important thing you what I want to end off with is that most importantly, you must always have faith in yourself. Congratulations, Matrix. And to the class of 2019, good luck. You're going to need it.
Well done.
Thank you very much, Matrix. That was emotional and very entertaining. I'd now like to invite Jordan to come back to the front and Mr. Arkett. They are going to perform Bob Dylan's I Shall Be Released for us.
They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection someplace so high above the wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Right, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to ask our guests just to remain seated while the rest of the school has their chance to say goodbye to our matrics. What will happen is that the children are going to form an honor guard down the path, ending with the teachers, and they're going to be saying goodbye to all of their fellow edu-inkers. And what you'll hear when they get to the end, you'll see there's a brass bell that's been attached to the arch. And that was actually a gift to the school from the class of 2018, because they are leaving their own tradition and their own legacy. And what they wanted to do was ring the bell once for every year that they have attended the school as they leave. So if you wouldn't mind bearing with us, please, guests. And if the rest of the school, grade 11s, if you could take the lead in forming the honor guard, please.
I see you later.
Help you out for this. Somebody's going to have to help you. You get to give 2 roses. Yeah.
Unique message for you, person. So you're going to send me a little MP3 of your life.